Right, guys, welcome to this live stream of the Springboks Squad Announcement. We are going to join in a little bit earlier tonight just to have a little chat because I'm sure we have plenty of opinions on who is going to get picked for this game or for the Springbok Announcement. So leave in the comment section who you guys think is going to be the surprise inclusions into the Springbok side. I have an idea that we will see a few upsets here and there. If you have to really go through this lineup, who do you think is going to make the squad? I will, as soon as the squad announcement has been made, I will put up a picture with the full squad. So let's quickly go through some of the comments. Justice Services, let's go Sharks. So the Sharks have managed to win a game against the Lions. We are going to have a cracking Pro 14 Rainbow Cup finale next weekend when the Sharks take on the Bulls. They need to win with a bonus point and deny the Bulls a bonus point as well. Then Justice Service staying up hella late. It's like 2 a.m. here in Australia. So the squad announcement will be made in around, let's see, 20 odd minutes. So while we're at it, we will have a crack and see who do you guys think is going to be announced into the squad. Arnold Brun says Bokke Boer, and then also he says, doesn't matter who we pick tonight, they are the Boks and we will support them till the end. Klaar. So the one big question that I have for you guys, do you think Siya Kolisi will be named as captain of the Springbok squad tonight, or will we see somebody else make the captaincy for instance, maybe Dwayne Vermeulen or somebody? Alexander van der Berg says, Choms, are we going to skid the announcement here? Yes, we are. Alexander, we are going to skid it right here on the Rugby Guru channel. So if you are new to the channel, press that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are going to do the live commentary and reaction videos on this channel for the Springbok games as well. And I'm really looking forward to see who the youngsters is they're going to pick, especially if we are looking at the guys who is going to play against Georgia in that first test. Arnold Brun says Sharks, good vibes. Absolutely. Then Carl du Plessis says Siya Kolisi will be named as the captain tonight. What are your guys' thoughts on that for tonight? Vermeulen as captain, please, says Justin Server 1. If you go on the form of the current players, you would think that Dwayne Vermeulen could be named captain of the squad. However, I think they will go with Siya Kolisi as the captain for this one. Wilhelm the Good says, I will say Morne Steyn at 10 and Herschel Yankees at 9. So do remember, Wilhelm, that Handré Pollard will be available for this Lions series, as will Elton Yankees. So let's start off with the Stens and discuss this real quickly, and then we'll move over to the 9th position. So first of all, at 10, we've probably got a few candidates. Let us put this on the board real quickly. So we've got Morne Steyn there. Morne Steyn as an outside dark horse. We've got Pollard. We've got Yankees. Yankees. Those are the main guys who I think will be picked at 10 for the Springboks today. Who do you guys think is maybe a dark horse to get selected outside? Do you guys think Johan Goosen will get a chance? Will we see one of the youngsters like Jordan Hendricks, maybe Kevin Bosch, Manny Libok? Who of those guys deserve to be called up to the Springbok side? I think we are pretty settled with these 3 guys, Morne Steyn, Handré Pollard, and Elton Yankees. So let's go quickly through the comment section again. Edmund Senecal says Kolisi does not deserve the captaincy at this stage. He should not even be of a spot based on current form, which I absolutely agree with you there, Edmund. Kolisi's form has not granted him the honor of leading the Springbok side against the Lions side. But I do believe that Nienaber and Rassie Erasmus have lots of confidence in him. But based on his last couple of performances, I just really don't see he shouldn't be in the Springbok side, like you said there. Justice Service says one no man Pollard. Well, Pollard has been the informed flyer for South Africa in his last couple of years, and the way he's played for Montpellier, I think he truly deserves to be there. Then Rodney Chimunsi says stripping Sia of the captaincy wouldn't be quite fair, don't you think? So Rodney, to come back to that one, is Sia Kolisi has been out of form. He's played 3 or 4 games for the Sharks, not really making an impact at all for the Sharks. Then you've got Dwayne Vermeulen on the Bulls side, who's led the side to all the honours that they possibly can be in South Africa. He's leading them with style, and his form has been great. So, yeah, if you have to go on form, I think Dwayne Vermeulen would get that captaincy. But like I said, Jacques Nienaber and Rassie has a lot of confidence in Sia. So we do see him as the captain for South Africa. Then Carl du Plessis, Faf 9, 10 Pollard, which I think would be the case going forward. Then Arnold Brandt says, Faf de Klerk, the pocket rocket. Justice Service says, Rowan Jansen van Rensburg and Akker have been both playing great. So let's quickly discuss the Springbok players in that Sales Shark side. You've got Akker van Merwe, Rowan Jansen van Rensburg. You've got the likes of Jean-Luc du Plessis, Dan du Plessis, who's been really exceptional for the Sales Sharks. So we might just see a call-up for all of them, But the fact that Faison Barta has been in the Springbok alignment camps tells me that he might just get a chance to showcase what he can do against Georgia, maybe. But, I mean, going by form, Akker van der Merwe should be there. Rowan Jansen van Rensburg is really going to have tough competition with the likes of Damien Dialendi, Lukanya Jesse Creel, Wandisile Simelane. Who else is there you can name from the South African point of view? Cornel Hendricks, for instance, have been brilliant for the Bulls as well. So, and then obviously there's also Jan Serfontein playing for Montpellier. I just don't know who they're going to pick. I don't think Rowan Jansen van Rensburg might be in that mix. And Carl du Plessis says at 6, Jaco Kriel. So, unfortunately, Jaco Kriel is out injured. He hasn't played for a while, so I really don't see Jaco Kriel making the Springbok side tonight. Then Arnold Brandt says Sia and John Smith were in the same place before the Lions series. Keep the same recipe. So referring to John Smith there, he was out of form, but a great captain. Now, there is a debate whether Sia Kolisi is really a great captain. He was playing alongside really good captains in that Springbok squad with the likes of Dwayne Vermeulen, the likes of Andre Pollard. There was the likes of, who else was there? Bonambi was leadership quality. So there were a lot of leaders in that Springbok group in 2019. So it's going to be quite a tough decision there. Stefan de Beer says, "No, Johan, waar kyk hierdie squad announcement? Supersport." Yes, it will be on Supersport, Stefan de Beer. So as soon as they got the whole squad aligned, we will put a picture up with the full squad here on the channel, and we will discuss where we're going with this. Milan de Beer, Spurs Rules says, "I would like to see Warwick Kaland in the squad." So he has been training really hard, off the scenes, really working hard on his fitness, getting his whole thing settled up. So I think that Warwick Kaland will be part of the Springbok squad regardless. And he was in really great form before the start before he actually got injured. And then we have to remember the likes of Willie Leroux and Apalile Fassi there. Edwin van der Merwe can slot in at fullback. Cheslin Colby can slot in at fullback. So Warwick Kaland has got a lot of competition, but I do feel that he might just make it there. Then Rika Swart says, "I hope Goosen gets a chance against Georgia." The possibilities there. He's been playing outside centre for Montpellier for most of the season so far. I would really love to see him at Flair. We all know he can also slot in at fullback. So with the likes of Warwick Kaland injured, it could be an opportunity maybe for Johan Goosen to slot down at that fullback position as well. Then Edmund Senegal says Andre, so possibly thinking Lukanya and Andre Esterhazen maybe. Andre Esterhazen's discipline has let himself down a little bit, so whether he will get chosen is going to be a question mark, really. But he has been in some really good form with the Harlequins as well. Then Abdul says Dwayne Vermeulen for captain. Dwayne Vermeulen got injured last night in that game against the Stormers. And Jake White also mentioned that it's not looking good for Dwayne Vermeulen. So we might end up not having Dwayne Vermeulen for this Lions tour. Just a matter of finding out how serious that injury is to him. Then Milan de Beer says, I would like to see Warwick Kalan. We have discussed that just now. Then Justice Service says, get Bucky's back. Eben is good, but can't replace Bucky's. Yeah, there's only one of Bucky's Botha ever to play the game. But I do feel that Etzebeth will definitely make the squad regardless. He is back, he's not injured, and he should slot down in that number 4 jersey for the Springboks. Then Putelesi says Marcel Coetzee might take over at 6. So thinking of Marcel Coetzee and his performance last night against the Stormers, you would maybe say he definitely warrants a place in this box side. And I mean, he's come back for the Bulls, so he should be in the mix absolutely for surely. One guy that I do feel sorry for is Marco van Staden. And Jake White mentioned that it doesn't look like he's going to be part of Nienaber's plans or Rassie's plans going forward. So either Marcel Coetzee, Marco van Staden, they would both be really good for the Springboks. Then Makazola Mapimpi's quality, says Milan de Beer. We saw Makazola having a cracker of a game for the Sharks earlier, and I would be very surprised if Makazola Mapimpi does not make the Springbok squad just a little bit later. Then Justin Services, Sia even admitted that he doesn't make most of the decisions on the field, even though he's captain. He's an inspiration, not a captain. Well, which is true, Justice Server. He is an inspiration to the nation, but then again, do we pick players based on inspiration? Do we pick players based on what they mean for South Africa? Or do we pick a player based on his performance and what they can do for the Springbok squad on the day, on the field? Because I feel Sia is not really up to standard and don't really warrant a place in the side. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys think of it. I personally don't think Sia deserves to be there today. Michi Bosov says Elton Jantjies is playing good. So he's been playing for Pau in France. We've seen him having a few good games that side. And I do think that Elton Jantjies will be our second choice fly-off after Pollard. And then Morne Steyn will definitely be in the mix just to cover if there's any injury, maybe to Pollard or Jantjies. And then I don't think any of the other fly-offs like Jordan Hendricks, Gervin Bosch, or those sorts have really done enough to be mentioned in this. And I know a lot of people think that Gervin Bosch deserves to be there. I honestly, as a Sharks supporter, he's been holding the Sharks back, just kicking the ball away really stupidly for the Sharks. And we saw today when Manny Lovak was at fly-off, how attacking the Sharks can play. And I thought for a second maybe it was the coach's call to kick that lot like that. But in the end of the day, I really think that Kevin Bosch is holding the team back and won't be even mentioned in the mix today. 11J said Ruan Pienaar maybe. Well, could be. Ruan Pienaar might just make it. He has been in great form. But now, if you look at the class that we've got Faf de Klerk, we've got Kobus Reinhardt, we've got Morne van der Berg, we've got Andre Warner, we've got Ivan van Zyl, Emrys Papier, Jaden Hendricks, all playing phenomenal rugby. I just don't see that we really need his experience at this stage because, I mean, Faf de Klerk and Kobus Reinhardt makes up in experience what the other guys might lack. So, no, I don't think he will make it eventually. Unfortunately not for him. Then Carl du Plessis, Jeremy Ward's rugby is ook deesdae goed. So, let me be honest. I don't really rate Jeremy Ward as a player. He was he was really good when he was playing his rugby in the Eastern Cape. But He is currently on the bench for the Sharks. Marius Lowe has now overtaken him at the Sharks. We've bought Minus Potgieter as well now for the Sharks. So it just shows you that Jeremy Ward is not really in the mix at the moment for Springbok contention and not even for Sharks contention. But I do get what you're saying. He is a good player, but I don't think he is international quality at this stage. Melinda Beer says, I also want Johan Quisson. We have discussed him so far, so we will move away from Quisson. Then Surprise Marcelli says Speckman might break into the squad. So I do expect Roscoe Speckman to be named in the Springbok squad a little bit later. There's a reason why he's on loan to the Stormers at the moment, and he has played really good rugby when he was at the Bulls. We know what he did when he was playing at the Bulls. We've seen what he's done for the Cheetahs and what he's done for the Stormers against the Bulls last night. So we might definitely see Speckman there. Then Michi Bosman says Birgit Odendaal maybe. Now, I don't know for what reason, Michi, but Birgit Odendaal is not rated in South Africa for some reason. He's a strong ball carrier. He's got leadership quality. But then again, you have to ask, is he better than Damien Dialendi? Is he better than Lukanya Is he better than Wandisile Simelane? Is he better than Sapfontein? Is he better than Rowan Janssen van Rensburg? And the answer to that is simply not. Not at this stage. 11J said Tyron Green as well. So I feel very sorry for Tyron Green if he does make the Springbok squad. And I don't think it's going to be now. I think he will be considered as a fullback and not a winger, because we've got really good wingers in Makazole Mapimpi. We've got Cheslin Colby. We've got Edwil van der Merwe. We've got Nkosi. We've got, who else is there? There's so many really good wingers out there for South Africa, and I just can't see Tyron really breaking through at the stage. Even on fullback, we've got Apelile Fassi, Billy Leroux, Warwick Kalan, all those guys really doing really well, and Tyron will need to be really exceptional if he wants to make it to that side. Then Sitembuzo Ndwane says the Dupree brothers. So again, we have discussed them. They've been exceptional form for Sales Sharks, and it would just be an injustice if at least one of them don't make it to the side between Jean-Luc and Dan. Now, Dan Dupree might make it as a backup number 8. Jean-Luc might make it as a backup flanker. But again, we've got so many quality players here in South Africa and playing overseas at the moment that it's going to be hard for the Dupree twins to really make it there. The press are asking, where is the squad been announced? So I am watching it on Super Sport. It should be announced in a very short while. Jacques Nienaber is in the studio on Super Sport. So we're expecting the squad announcement to be made by him in studio in just a little while. Gregory Grant says, I would like to see Quisson, Ndweba and Farsi get a chance against Georgia. So Ndweba is the man that hasn't been mentioned just yet. I think he is a really exceptional player, as Joseph Ndweba. But then you have to ask, is he better than Malcolm Marx? Is he better than Bonambi? Is he better than Akker van der Merwe? And is he better than the local talent shown in this competition, Johan Grobler and Faison Botha? Is he better than those guys playing in France? They need to bring him back into South Africa to see what he is capable of against those guys. And I just feel that Johan Grobler has been exceptional for the Bulls. And if one guy deserves to be mentioned, it is that youngster. He would just be an asset to the box side. Pierre says, how do you feel about Morne Steyn as an option at 10? So Morne Steyn has proven himself over the years. The only concern that I do have with Morne Steyn at 10 is that he does tend to play too deep and not able to send away his back line. And we've seen it on numerous occasions with the Bulls as well. Cornel Hendricks and Stedman Gans not getting that go-forward ball. Even Marco Jansen van Pieren not getting that go-forward ball. Most of the time he's kicking it, but he is a valuable asset, and he can be important when it comes to those little tactical kicks against the Lions. But I do feel that Pollard and Yankees should be the first choice then. James says, who would you take as fourth winger, Penkwe, Tamkwe, or Speckman? So I think Speckman has proven himself over the course of 2 seasons. I think Penkwe is one for the future. Tamkwe has done really well with the Bulls, but he's just not there yet. I think it will be Speckman or Edward van der Merwe, who's had a great breakthrough season this year. Then 11J say, don't think Hendricks will be named. Unfortunately, it would be a shame because he has been doing really well. So for those of you who don't know what is going on with Hendricks, is that he has currently have a dispute with SA Rugby, which could linger his chances of getting picked today. But who knows? He's sorting it out and really deserves to be there as a backup center. And he can even play on the wing as well. So it would be quite surprising if Hendricks does not make the cut. Then Straat Caveman says, anyone know how I can watch it online in the US? Thank you. So I'm not sure that they're going to stream it anywhere else on YouTube. You will have to be subscribed to one of the channels, unfortunately. So if that answers your question at all. James LaRue said, where can we watch? You will not be able to watch it live on YouTube, unfortunately, James. You will have to do with what we got. So as soon as we do get this Springbok squad announced, I will put a picture on of the squad that will be available. Then with the Leslie also said, Jaden Hendricks looks to have a leapfrog Nienaber for the next 9. So he is a good player, but he's far down in the line, unfortunately. You first got Faf, then you got Reinhardt, then you have Papier, you've got Ivan van Sail, you've got the likes of Morne van der Berg, you've got Andre Warner, Nohamba, all of those. It's unfortunate that we are we're fortunate in the unfortunate that Jaden Hendricks will probably not make the squad because there is so many good players. James LaRue is asking, is it on DSTV? Yes, it will be. Francis Steyn has to be in a team. That long boot of him will be amazing, especially in that long shots, plus he's already played the Lions. Huge asset. So we are expecting him to be in that squad. It will be quite a big surprise if he doesn't make it. Then Strike one would think that Bok Rugby YouTube channel, SABC, would have it. But unfortunately, they don't have it. Strike and Bok Rugby YouTube hasn't been active for a while now. So unfortunately not. James LaRue, where has it been announced? Super Sport is the channel, guys. Michi asking, what do you think about Andre Warner? I think he's an exceptional scrum half and definitely one that can make a breakthrough in the future. But just as I mentioned with Jaden Hendricks, it's going to be really hard to beat Faf de Klerk on that 9th position. And with Kobus Reinhardt still playing exceptional rugby, it's going to be really hard to see those two being lifted from the side as well. Joshua LaRue asking what channel it is, 211 on Super Sport. Then Biggest Dickus says Madosh Tambwe is about to, possibly he could be selected, who knows, but it is going to be tough for him to break through in a star-studded lineup when it comes to the wingers. Then Shaman says, who do you think from the Emirate Lions will get selected? So Wanda Sila Samalani is the first guy who I think will be mentioned in that squad. When you look at the rest of the squad, maybe Morne van der Berg or Andre Warner, Vincent Chichuka, MJ Pels has been good, Ruben Skuman, Reinhard Noordnagel, Carlo Sadi has been really good as well, and then Steve Satoli. So those are all the guys that can be available. And then Wynand Roberts asking, are you serious? Are you guys serious, Johan Quissen? So he's not been terrible, Wynand, but he's definitely down in the pecking order when it comes to the actual barometer for the players. So maybe somewhere down the line. Barry says, did they say the squad yet? So Ori only joined now, so they haven't announced the squad just yet, but they're very close to doing so. Speckman is good, says Straat Caveman. Justice Service says to the guys who asked, who from the Lions would love to see the Bone Collector back in action? So he's referring to Willem Alberts there, but I just don't think that he will be making it there. Chesnan should be at fly-off, says Matthew Smith. I honestly don't think that he is capable. We've seen a few games of him playing at fly-off, but he's not made a massive impact of just yet. So I'm not expecting him to be there right yet. Edmund says, score of the World Cup winning squad should be kept. You're only as good as your last game. The same players that have proven themselves here, and then there are new faces based on form. So I think that will be happening. Then Nande says, Leeson Kaboka, absolutely. He needs to be there. He's been really brilliant. And then let's have another look. The comments are coming in valiantly. What makes you say that Bergen Udall is not good enough to play Springbok centre? He's more than capable, says Jean-Ray. But I didn't say that he's not good enough. I'm just asking, is he better than the current crop like Damien Dialendi, Jan Serfontein, Rowan Jansen van Rensburg, the likes of Lukanya Is he better than those guys? Gideon says, see us captain because of... no, come on, guys. Let's not make this a political thing. What about Cornel Hendricks? He definitely should be right there at the moment. Right, Cheslin is making the squad, absolutely. Then let's see who else do the guys think. 11J said, also saying, if South Africa continue with a kicking game, Pollard or Person could be option for centre or another kicking option. Makes sense. It could work. Herschel Yankees obviously also there in the mix, but he is in a little bit of trouble with an injury as well after yesterday. So, any update on Dwayne Vermeulen? Only word that we got is that Jake White said it's not looking good for him. So, we'll have to wait and see how it goes then. 11J said, would also loved it if someone like Johan Ackerman joined the team as consultant for the ideas to help coach the players. He is an exceptional coach, so it wouldn't surprise me if he does get involved somewhere down the line. Thoughts on non-internationally capped players being selected. Jasper Visser, one to think of. Wandisile Simelane, another one to think of. Who else is there that Ruben Skuman maybe? There's a few wild cards there in the mix. Who do you think will be chosen for the front row? Kitshoff Malherbe, Leeson Kaboka, Trevor Nyakani, and Thomas de Toey will probably be the front rows. Carlo says, Evan Roos here was absolutely phenomenal in that game last night. He can play flank or number 8, and it's a pity that he's still so young. It would have been really cool if he did make it. Then Mila de Beer has made a 14 Rand deposit as a donation for this channel. I really love that, Millen. So thank you so much for that donation. Then Peter Arn says it's now live on channel 200 as well. So Jesse Creel says Justice Server, he will probably be in the mix. Absolutely. What about Upper Lille Yankee? So Barry, unfortunately, Upper Lille Beware Yankee has not passed his drug test, so he's not available for selection at any stage. When you have a Ministry of Sports, politics is always going to find its way in, says Mo, which is true, unfortunately. Albert asking, does Jan Serfontein stand a chance? I don't think so, not at this stage. It is a pity, but you have to consider that Damien Dialendi, Lukanya Jesse Creel, Andre Esterhazen, Wandisile Simelane, all those guys are in front of him at the moment. Then James Fenter says the Sharks. What? Here we go. Here's the squad announcement. Let's quickly go through this, guys. We do have Lotte Jager, Dan de Pre, Jean-Luc de Pre, Peter Steph de Toey, Thomas de Toey, Joseph Ndweba, Reinhard Elkstad, Etzebeth, Janse van Rensburg, uncapped player, and then Kitshoff there as the first forwards being named in the squad. So not a lot of known about. It's Nico Janse van Rensburg is the uncapped one, as well as Joseph Ndweba. Next up is Vincent Koch, Sia Kolisi, Frans Malherbe, Malcolm Marx, Bongi Munambi, Franco Mostert, Oxnard Shear, Skarren Tubeni, Trevor Nyakani, and Kuni Oosthuizen. Then we've got Marvin Orie, Kwagga Smith, RG Snyman, Marco van Staden has made it, Dwayne Vermeulen, and then uncapped is Jasper Visser. So Marco van Staden making the side there in front of Marcel Coetzee. The backline announcement, Lukanya Damien Dialendi, Faf de Klerk, Appelile Fassi, Elton Yankees, Herschel Yankees, Cheston Colby, Jesse Creel, Willie Leroux, Makazola Mapimpi. No surprises there. Then it is Sabu Nkosi, Sanela Nohamba, Jaap Penke uncapped, Nohamba uncapped. Then Pollock gets there. Kobus Reina, Wandisile Simelane uncapped. Roscoe Speckman uncapped. And then we've missed, Francois Steyn is there as well. So we will now go and look to see if we can find a Springbok squad on paper here on the internet. And we will go through that real quickly, guys. But there is definitely a few shots down the line here. I cannot believe the likes of Nico Jansen van Rensburg getting picked, and then there's not guys like Ruan or Kier who's not in the squad. So let's see if we can find a picture of the actual squad. Going through the social media at the moment just to check if we can find a picture of that at the moment for you guys. We are looking to get that Springbok announcement on paper now for you guys. Let's see if we can find this for you guys. So a few surprises. Nico Jansen van Rensburg, Marco van Staden also picked in the side ahead of Marcel Coetzee, which is a little bit of a surprise at the moment. But my biggest shock so far is Nico Jansen van Rensburg. So let's quickly download this. We are going to save it, and now we're going to share it to the stream for you guys. Let's do a share real quickly so that you guys can see the actual Springbok announcement here online. Right, here we go, guys. This is the Springbok announcement. Let us share this for you. So the Springbok forwards then, here, let's just remove that one real quickly. Joseph Nweba, Malcolm Marx, Bongi Bunambi, Skaran Tubeni, Dan de Pre, Peter Stef de Toey, Sia Kolisi, Reinhard Elfstad, Kwagga Smit, Dwayne Vermeulen, Marco van Staden, Jasper Wisse, Jean-Luc de Pre, Thomas de Toey, Steven Kinshoff, Vincent Kok, Frans Malherbe, Oxnashire, Trevor Nukani, Koenie Oosthuizen, Loot de Jager, Eben Etzebeth, Nico Jansen van Rensburg, Franco Mostert, Marvin Uri, and Erge Snyman. What do you guys think of this back of forwards? As I'm quickly going to see if I can get the backline on as well for us real quickly. It is a very formidable back of forwards for the Springbok side. Let's quickly have a look at the backs. Let me save that as well. So we are going to have a look first through the back of forwards. What do you guys think of this? Joseph Ndweba getting the call up at hooker along with Malcolm Marx, Bongi Munambi, and Skaran Tubeni. Is there anybody that you guys missing at the moment on hooker? Like I said, Joseph Ndweba is a good player, but is he really better than Johan Grobler? Well, wait, let's just change that again. Is he better than Johan Grobler? Is he better than Karen van Vuren? Is he better than Fes Mbata at this stage? Is he better than Akker van der Merwe? That is the big question, yeah. But congratulations to Joseph Nweba. He definitely deserves it here. Looking at the loose forwards, Dan de Pre, Jean-Luc de Pre did enough to make it. Peter Stef de Toey, Sia Kolisi, Reinhard Elfstad for me is a surprise there. And then Leeson Kaboka not making it over Koenie Oosthuizen is another big surprise. I would have even dropped Oxnashire for Leeson Kaboka. So definitely the guys who I think should have made it in the side so far in the hooker position, maybe the likes of Akker van der Merwe, Johan Grobler not making it. Then in the front row, Leeson Kaboka missing out. Who else is there that in the front row could have made a massive impact? It's a pity that Nienaber for sure was also overlooked because he has been really good as well for the Stormers. So it just kind of baffles me just a little bit. The likes of Vincent Koch has been selected, who has hardly played any games for Saracens as well. So that is a little bit of a surprise. Carlo Jansen van Rensburg says, no Marcel Coetzee. No way, easy replacement for Flo from the World Cup. So at least Marco van Staden, who has been on form, has been selected in the side as well. So, yeah, it's one of those things. It was going to be either Marco van Staden or it was going to be Marcel Coetzee. And to be fair to Marco, he's been playing some really exceptional rugby so far. So it makes sense that he gets picked in front of the likes of Marcel Coetzee. But surprisingly for me, Reinhard Elkstad and Kwagga Smith, I would rather have gone maybe with somebody locally instead of Reinhard Elkstad maybe, and Kwagga Smith we know is a very, very good player. So I don't have any objections with Kwagga Smith being picked in the side. But it's going to be interesting to see how Jasper Wiese fares against the likes of Sam Simmons. I think that selection of Jasper Wiese could maybe be a direct kind of counter towards Sam Simmons. There's also some comments saying that I would have chosen Akker over chosen Dweba. They might drop Vermeulen if injury is serious and replace with Marcel, which makes sense. They might just pick Marcel Coetzee if the likes of Dwayne Vermeulen could get injured, or he is injured at the moment, so we need to find out how serious that is. But I do think that Marcel Coetzee could come in as a replacement. But I mean, Dan de Pre has been brilliant for Sales Sharks. So if Dwayne can't play, I'm sure that they will put Dan de Pre in at number 8. Then Peter Steph du Toit will probably be our number 7 flank, with Siya Kolisi as captain at 6. And then Dwayne Vermeulen slotting in at number 8. Then the hookers will probably be Bongi Manambi and Malcolm Marx as the first choice then. Zama says we could have put Peter Steph du Toit on lock and Marcel in the loosies. But then who do you drop there? Like I said, I'm still surprised that Nico Jansen van Rensburg out of nowhere made the Springbok squad here. I think guys like Schikkeling, Aaron Andrews, who else is there, could have made such a bigger impact. But obviously, Eben Etzebeth and Noord de Jager will be the first choice locks with Franco Mostert and RG Snyman really making it up there. Blake says Currentberry is damn nearly 30 years old and still struggling to throw it in straight. Yeah, they could have dropped Marvin Urie, says Zama, which Marvin Urie has been pretty solid in his last couple of games for the Stormers as well. But yeah, it's just one of those things. The Reinhardt winning Champions Cup with Colby and Toulouse, confidence must be high. He did get a yellow card, though, in that cup final, Ethan. So I personally don't rate Reinhard Elstad that highly. I would have liked to have seen maybe one of the youngsters like Evan Roos, Vincent Chichuka, or somebody getting the call up to the side as well. Henry Dubé says Aga should have made it ahead of Skara. Imagine how facing his brother Duan. Then Ethan says Shane Beastie retired, misses his name. So for the Springboks to back down in the front row would probably be Steven Kitsoff and Frans Malherbe. Another surprise exclusion, and we need to mention this. It is Elrich Lowe. I would have definitely picked him in front of Reinhard Elstad because he's been really phenomenal for the Bulls, and he's such a good loose forward. So there you have it. Elrich Lowe could have replaced Elstad any day. Why Skara says Brian Williams. Johan would have been a much better choice. I do agree. Johan Kroblau has been really fantastic. And then Hansi says the fact that you say Nicholas is picked from nowhere, really, everyone's player has been in Rassie's side for a long time. Well, he is uncapped, and, well, it makes sense on the other hand, because we got some quality players, maybe just to bring him in and see what he can do in the Springbok setup, Hansi. So, yeah, it's to say he comes out of nowhere because he hasn't been in the Springbok setup for any time. He's uncapped, and it's the first time that we really see him in the mix. I have to disagree with you there, saying that he's been in Rassie's mix for a long time. Let's see then, Elrich over Elkstad. Some of these players will play in the South Africa 18 and then will be trimmed down to 35. And you really have an issue with Elkstad. You mentioned his name 8 times, this Jerome. I don't have an issue with him. He's a Springbok and we'll support him regardless, Jerome. So I just feel that there's better players at the moment. And then Zama says with Dwayne injured, Jasper could slot in at 8. The boy has wheels and power. So before we look at Jasper, we'll probably first look at Dan de Priya then. We are going to move now to the backline real quickly, just to see where we at with that. So let's just, oh goodness, let's stop this one for a second. Where are we now? So let's share again, and we're going to have a look at the backline real quickly for you guys. Let's open that and then share to the screen. Right, so here are the backline for the Springboks. The outside backs, Apelile Fassi, Willie Leroux, Damian Willemse, Cheslin Colby, Makazola Mapimpi, Sabu Nkosi, Japenke, Roscoe Speckman. Then fly-offs, Elton Jantjies, Andre Pollard, Mornay Steyn, as we expected. Then centers, Lukanya Damien Dialendi, Jesse Creel, Frans Steyn, Wanda Silas, Simelane. And then scrummels, Faf de Klerk, Herschel Jantjies, Sanela Nohamba, and Kobus Reina. Okay, Hansi says he talked in depth about Nicholas, so I didn't catch that one, unfortunately, Hansi. So I do apologize if I didn't know about Nico Jansen van Rensburg. But yeah, anyway, he's in the squad. Let's have a look through this back line. It's a shame no Jan Serfontein. I think the guys that has been picked is really good. Lucanya's form hasn't been really great so far, unfortunately. So hopefully, if he gets back into that side, he will gel with Makazola Mapimpi, who I think will be a first choice. Jesse Creel, Damien Dialendi has been brilliant for Munster. Cornel Hendricks, as I mentioned earlier, Hansi, the thing with Cornel Hendricks is that he's got a dispute with SA Rugby at the moment. And until that is cleared up, I don't know the content of the dispute, but it was mentioned that that would be the reason why it doesn't get picked. So unfortunately, Cornel Hendricks does not get the opportunity then. Right, then looking at the scrum halves, no surprises there really. Faf de Klerk, Herschel Jantjies, Kobus Reina. Then Sanela Nohamba is quite a surprise, as Jaden Hendricks has leapfrogged him in the first choice scrum half for the Sharks. And then likes of Andre Warner and Morne van den Berg has been really brilliant for the Lions as well. And then likes of Embrace Papier, Ivan van Sail, I think, has had a great season for the Springbok, for the Bulls, before it was announced that he was going to Saracens. But yeah, it's one of those things. Gregory Grant says Nohamba is a surprise for me. I like Simelane, but he needs to go into the weight room. Then Penke over Maxwane, Tambwe over Edwell is bizarre to me. Yeah, that is a little bit surprising. If you look at Jaap Penke, he has been mentioned a couple of times before. But I mean, the likes of Edwell van der Merwe, who's been exceptional this last couple of weeks. Tambwe has been really consistent for the Bulls as well. But I think it's just more like getting the numbers out there, because if you really have to look at starting 15, you would look at Willie Leroux, you would look at Cheslin Colby and Makazola Mapimpi, Andre Pollard at 10, Lukanya, Damien Dialendi at 13 and 12, and then Faf de Klerk obviously starting at 9. So we don't need to look too far into this. This team will be trimmed at some stage as well, so we don't really need to look too much into that at this stage. It is a squad of 45 players, which will be trimmed down to, I think, 35 at the start of the Lions series. So a lot of these guys will probably make it to the SAA squad, like mentioned before. Rodney says no Rowan Jansen van Rensburg, no Serfontein. It is quite a surprise, but who would you have left out? Because, I mean, Wandisile Simelane, as a youngster, he does make mistakes here and there, but we need to blood him for the future as well. So I think he will definitely make the SAA squad and then maybe trim down when it comes to a later stage. And then Zander asking, what's your opinion on Cornel Hendricks apart from legal issues? He's great. I love him. He's shown us that hard work can bring you back into contention. I think personally he was unlucky not to make the World Cup squad in 2019 as well. And he's just gone from strength in that last 2 years for the Bulls. And very surprisingly that he doesn't get picked ahead of, again, who do you leave out? He could have gone as a utility back, maybe in the place of Jaap Penke or Roscoe Speckman. But in the center, you can't really do away with and Jesse Creel, Damien Dialendi, and Frans Steyn. So, yeah, it's one of those things. They're going to announce the captaincy as well. So, Siya Kolisi will definitely be the captain of the Springbok side. So, unfortunately, for those of you who don't want him as captain, he will be leading the side out. So, Rassie and Nienaber have a lot of confidence in him then. Then Blake says, Bosch chokes under pressure. He needs to stay far away from the box. And I agree with you there. I think we've got enough in Elton Jantjies, Andre Pollard, and Morné Steyn to make up for that. And then Yabu says, I can't believe that Edwil van der Merwe did not make it. So the thing with Edwil is he's still young. I think his chances will definitely come at some stage. If you look at the wingers that has been picked for this Lions series, Justin Colby, Mapimpi, Nkosi, and Speckman and Penke will probably fall out of that mix when the team gets trimmed. So, yeah, the big problem here, or not problem, but the big letdown definitely for me is Marcel Coetzee being left out. And then apart from that, there's no really any big names missing from the South African squad. I'm pretty happy with the way things have gone here. Edwil is way too small and skinny at the moment, says Blake, which I totally disagree with. If Jason Colby can do it, then surely Edwil can make it as well. Then Jack asking who will be your vice captain. It has to be Dwayne Vermeulen, surely. There's a lot of leaders in the group, obviously, like of Andre Pollard, Elton Jantjies, Morné Steyn, Frans Steyn. In the forwards, you've got the likes of Etzebeth, you've got Louis de Jager, all of those guys, leaders in their own right. Kitshoff as well, Bonambi, they're all leaders in their own right. And then I think Elstad is lucky, says Hanyo. I guess there's favoring players who have been in the setup before. Maybe we haven't seen enough of them just yet, Hanyo. So let's hope he delivers on the day. Kwasi, is Marcel injured? No, he's not injured. He had a phenomenal game for the Bulls last night. Then also, Hansi says, love the way you talk about Bosch, but he is the guy who wins more matches for the Sharks than lose them. Well, not this season so far, Hansi. He cost us a final, first and foremost, against the Bulls. And then for the start of this Rainbow Cup SA, he's just been really poor, kicking away all the possession. We saw with Libbok today, who's not even a great flyer of himself, just giving the Sharks that spark that was needed. So no Bosch for me. If Vermeulen is hurt, who is going to take his place? I'm sure Marcel Coetzee would come in there, or maybe Elrich Low, depending on who Nienaber and Rassie think can do this. Lazaro asking, hi, can you please show the team, please? So we do have the backs at the moment. We can have another look at the forwards if you guys want to. Let's see if we can find that again for you guys. Forwards, there we go. Just having another look at the forwards for you guys. Joseph Ndweba, Malcolm Mats, Bongi Bonambi, Skaran Tubeni, Dan de Pre, Pieter Stef de Toey, Siya Kolisi, Reinhard Elstad, Kwagga Smit, Dwayne Vermeulen, Marco van Staden, Jasper Wiese, Jean-Luc de Pre, Thomas de Toey, Stephen Kitshoff, Vincent Koch, Frans Malherbe, Oxner Shear, Trevor Nyakani, Koenie Oosthuizen, Louis de Jager, Eben Etzebeth, and Nico Jansen van Rensburg, Franco Mostert, Marvin Uri, and R.G. Snyman. Right, let's go through a few more comments here just real quickly. Do you think Jesse Creel will show up? Man hasn't shown form in years. So Jesse Creel has been playing for a Japanese side and he's done pretty well so far, really taking things forward for his club. He even had a few stitches the other day to show his effort there as well. Blake says, Marcel could say it's better than Khaleesi, so they don't want a player that would be better than the captain, which is sad. Well, let's put our faith in Sia for just a second, guys. Let's see if he can prove his critics wrong. And obviously, they do have a lot of faith in him. So hopefully he'll get to his best. He was a great player in 2018. So hopefully he can get back to those one. Jaques has only 2 real loose hit props. Kitshoff and let's see, Oxness Shear. Don't forget that Thomas Atway is actually a loose hit prop more than a tight hit prop as well. Brian asking, what is your opinion on Curtly Arendse? He's another great player coming through. We've got so many exceptional players that can in the future make a massive impact. So Edwulf van der Merwe, Curtly Arendse, definitely players for the future. Marlon asking, is Willems going to play fullback or fly off? Let's hope he's not going to play fly off, because we really don't want to see him in that fly off berth. He has not been playing well in that position at all. A much better fullback than he is a fly off, so it would be very surprising if he does end up in the fly off position. Ethan says, in terms of props, I'm pretty happy with the selection that they made. Koenie Oosthuizen has been good for the Sales Sharks, and although I would have loved to see Nienaber for sure maybe getting a chance, he has been pretty good as well for the Stormers. Then can't wait to see the starting flanks this Jabo. So I think it will be Khaleesi and Pieter-Steph du Toit absolutely starting. Hansi says Sia's never let the box down, so which is true. So let's back Sia Khaleesi as captain of the side. There's enough quality players alongside him that will make up if something do go wrong. Sharks fans, please stop with the Bosch talk, says Blake, which I agree, because he does not deserve to be in the Springbok side. Let's leave it at that. Liberty says Willems has a strong Sinkoma. He doesn't deserve to be in the squad. Well, based on his last 2 performances for the Stormers at fullback, he's been a lot better. So we wouldn't write him just off. He is still young and inexperienced, and hopefully he will show some class in the future. We're bringing on the Springbok forwards just again, guys. The beast in the squad. No, he's retired, guys. So just a server asking, did you see the punch up in the Lions camp? Doesn't look the team's coming together this side. I haven't seen that, in fact. Will it be a 6-2 split for the subs for tactics, or will they change that? So you could expect maybe a 6-2 split. But I think we'll have to wait and see how things go. And I think it will be based on how the Lions selection goes as well. Ethan says, like the video and subscribe to the channel to help the guru out, guys. So please press that like button and subscribe, guys, if you are now new. Those like buttons really help quite a lot. Hansi says, cannot believe that Koenie is still around. One of the biggest men, but one of the weakest scrummagers around. Penalty prone, too old, and a young guy should have been brought in. Yeah, I do agree with you there, Hansi. I think the likes of Nienaber for sure would have been a really good pick to maybe groom the next generation of prop forwards. And even the likes of Carlos Sadi would not have let this team down at all. So it is quite surprising that Koenie Oosthuizen did get the call up in front of Carlos Sadi. Then let's see another one. Justin Weber is going to be surprised, or Justin Weber is going to surprise us. Let's hope he does, because like I said, I do believe that Akker van der Merwe has been in better form, although I haven't seen too much of Justin Weber in France as of late. Then Quasi says Sia and John Smith are similar, both average players but great leaders. And then Brian says Peter does not play his best rugby at the moment. Looks like he's not recovered from the injury just yet. So I don't know what you've been watching, Brian, but Pieter-Steph du Toit has been in exquisite form over the last 2 games for the Stormers. So it might be that you haven't checked the last few games, but he's definitely on his way back to the best. Blake says, why have a 6-2 splits with no beast and flow? I think Marco van Staden can make up for that one. And then also, nobody's going to replace Beast so easily. Then Lisa, really a surprise not being picked. I would have picked him definitely in front of Oxnard, who I have been following quite valiantly. He's just not been the same Ox that he was when he was with the Cheetahs. So not really showing that class just yet. But maybe they have something in him or see something in him that we haven't seen so far. Then let's have another look. Who else have got? Jacques Vermeulen. He's been playing really well in the English Prem, but again, looking at the back of forwards or the loose forwards that we've got, I wouldn't really exclude any of them in the place of him. Elrich Low is a surprise, really. Reinhard Elstad getting the nod there. So I already mentioned this before, and I think that Elrich Low should have been in that side ahead of him, but we certainly will have to wait and see what the plans are of Jacques Nienaber and Rassie there. So one last look at the Springbok backline as well before we leave this, guys. Jody says we need Jan Serfontein, which I agree. I think, but then again, when you look at the side, we're just going to get trimmed down to 35. I don't see Similani being in that mix. He will be part of the Georgia game and maybe the SAA side. But Lukanya Damien Delendi, Jesse Creel, and Francois Steyn will be the main guys there. Then Ethan says that the Priya bros have the physical capabilities, just need to sort out the rough edges, discipline, and throwing offloads when not on, which I agree. They did it a lot with the Sharks that time. They really took some really risky offloads, but that are sometimes the one that wins you the games. Then Hansi says somewhere Jan Serfontein probably sat wrong on the bench or something, as the Snakes have forgot about him a while ago already. Will Serfontein ever have a chance in the green and gold again? I don't know. As long as Damien Dialendi and Jesse Creel is on form, I think Frans Steyn is now moving towards the end of his career. So Serfontein or Rowan Janssen van Rensburg could fill that gap in the future when Francois Steyn decides to retire. Yabu says Similani is a very young, talented player, might not start, but he is a talent, absolutely. Then Tinus Janssen van Rensburg says Liso in great shape. Again, very surprised that he didn't make the side. And then Blake says that the Priya brothers have improved a lot in Manchester, but I've never seen him do well in a Bok jersey, which is true. We haven't, apart from John Luke, who's had a few good games, Dan de Priya, I think, haven't played for the Springboks. I think 1 or 2 tests. Rodney says Bosch deserves his spot in the squad, but they always cut him out. We need Bosch in there. No, Rodney, I have to disagree with you there. Suffocate, is there anyone who replaced Beast? So they are thinking of replacing him with Oxnard, although I don't think he is the man to really stand in the boots of the Beast. So yeah, Yabu asking away, what are your thoughts on Farsi starting? So I think he would be formidable, but I don't think he will start ahead of Willie Leroux, to be quite honest. And then you also have the likes of Damien Willemse, who could be a favorite of the coaches maybe there. So Apalila Farsi deserved to be there, and based on his form a year or so ago, so hopefully Apalila Farsi will get that opportunity. Ethan says that Kiwi lads think it's still Sia. They were all sticking. Who did they decide on the captain? Oh, the Kiwi lads have joined in as well. So Sia Kulisi is the captain for the Springboks, regardless, guys. So he is currently speaking with the guys in studio as well. So Siya Kolisi will get the captaincy barrier again. Then Blake and Goody say, I really hope LaRue has some damn form at 15. I'm sure he will be in pretty good form as well, guys. There's a few guys who's not in form that needs to really step up. And like Hansi says, Van Steen is not in the greatest form either, but it will be good to have him on the bench. His experience and versatility is a must. So he's pretty much in the same boat as Siya Kolisi at the moment and Billy LaRue, whose form is not 100%. JJ Free, yeah, I don't think your comment really is true to the mix, because Kolisi was really exceptional in 2018, going into 2019. Like a lot of people have said today, Sia has never let the Springbok side down. So, yeah. Hansi also said I would consider Ruan Pienaar for the SAA side. Ruan Pienaar, we all know he's a quality scrum half, but we've got so many good youngsters coming through. It would just be a sin to select a guy that's got a year left for a guy that's got 12 years left, you know? So that's why I wouldn't consider Ruan Pienaar ahead of any of the youngsters that we've got so far. Ethan says LaRue won best fullback in the Japan League. Hopefully he will be okay. Then Ruan Pienaar almost cost us the second test in 2009, says Blake. Jake says Hendricks over Nohamba. It could mean a lot for Nohamba, because his form hasn't been great. Let's not try to patch that up. But Jaden Hendricks has been the first choice for Sean Everett, although I also personally feel that Nohamba is a better scrum half than Jaden, but he hasn't got the opportunity to show it just yet. So, yeah. Jade says, being sarcastic about Willems, did look good against the Bulls. Then Mr. Bean says, new caption, please. No man would trust Willems with taking out my bins. No chance. So a lot of criticism for Damien Willems, which I understand 100%, because his form hasn't been great. Then Apiwe Mbande asking, what do you think of Edward van der Merwe? Should made it. He reminds me of Colby. Imagine having two Justin Colbys. I don't know if that, oh goodness, it would have been the best option really going forward to have two Justin Colbys in one side. So another look at this backline again. Like I say, a few of these guys will fall out. The likes of Jaap Penke maybe, and Roscoe Speckman, and also Wandisile Similani and Sanele Nohamba. But for the rest of them, they will definitely be in that mix. So Edward van der Merwe will get his opportunity at some stage, guys. Remember, we still got the Rugby Championship coming up, and we do also still have a few more tests at the end of the year. Dean Wright says, I've never heard of Edward until one YouTube video. And then Ethan says, remember our main strength is defense too. Colby has pulled more than his weight in defense, high balls, all sort, more than just stepping. Willem says, the only other player that can cover on our bench like Steyn, we need this if we're going to go for a 6-2 split. Yeah, as long as we don't play him at fly-off, guys. I don't want him to be on fly-off at all. But yeah, it is a formidable squad, guys. I'm happy with the selection. There has been a few surprises in the back line. The likes of Jaap Penke getting called up to the squad is a big surprise for me. And then also the likes of Sanele Nohamba for me is also a big surprise. Then in the forwards, like I've mentioned before, the likes of Joseph Ndweba in front of Akker van der Merwe, Skarren Tubeni, we always knew was going to be part of the Springbok side. I am surprised at the selection of Reinhard Elkstad in front of Elrich Louw. The exclusion of Marcel Coetzee, Marco van Staden getting the nod before him then, and then also the inclusion of Oxner Scheer and Kuni Oosthuizen ahead of Leeson Kaboka and the likes of Neethling Fouché, and then also Nico Jansen van Rensburg ahead of one of, say, Ruben Skuman, who's been brilliant for the Lions as well. But yeah, hope you guys are good, and we're going to leave it at this for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to press that like button and subscribe if you're new. Until next time, guys, this is the Rugby Guru. See you guys next time. Cheers for now.